All right, maths is most useful when you can use it to solve real-world problems, not just maths problems that have been written out. However, year 10 is the borderline where the maths is advanced enough to actually solve useful problems. So, because of this, it's important to practice using the maths we do to solve worded problems, because you're going to be using these techniques later. What I'd like you to do, please, can you get those 5 steps down for dealing with worded problems, please, so I can demonstrate them to you? The first step is identifying the unknown. Usually the question tells you what the unknown should be, and assign it a variable. X is the easiest one to use. It doesn't always have to be X, but if the question says how many watermelons, make X be the number of watermelons. That's step 1. Step 2, I'll give you longer because I need you to call back to a little bit of English skills. You have to read the question and translate the worded problem into a maths equation. What we have been doing so far is just solving maths equations. They were just numbers, they were just operations. Now we need to get the numbers and operations from some sentences or a paragraph. So if the sentence or paragraph says sum, or total, or make, we're probably talking addition. If the paragraph says difference or space between, we're probably talking subtraction. If the paragraph said product or lots of, we're talking multiplication. And basically division is telling you how many of something fits into something else. And I'll give you a few minutes. Can you get those reminders about what some words mean in a maths context? These 4 things you probably want on your cheat sheet as well. So step 2 is all about getting a bunch of words into maths. Once you have the maths, you're going to have an equation. So step 3 is solve the equation using prior techniques. That's what I've been teaching you the last week or so. I'm not going to redo the steps now. It's whether you did the homework or not, if you listened hard enough. Do what has been taught so far. If you're away on Wednesday, you have to watch that video on YouTube of what you missed. Once you've found the answer, you need to answer in a sentence. That's worth a mark. Don't just tell me X is 5. X means something in a certain context. 5 is just a flex. You probably won't have time with your level of ability in this class, but if you do have time, your answer, you can chuck it into the original scenario and see if it matches up. I'll show you what I mean by that in this question here. So get that box, but if you have that box, can you get this example down, please? The sum of 3 consecutive even integers is 132. Find the smallest of these integers. See how that's all words? There is only one number here. We need to make that into an equation. So get that example down, please. Now let's look at that question. Does that question tell you what we should make x? Have a look at it. What's the last sentence? Find the of these. Okay, we need to. So if you say x is the smallest, that's doing step one. But now I need to check with you because I haven't taught you prior to this year. Do you know what an integer is? It just means whole number. Okay? So now you'll know. We're talking about whole numbers only. Okay? Whole nums. What other words are there? Let's highlight what's important for this. Is the really that important at the very start? No, that's not going to help us much. Some is important because is that telling us that we are adding? Yeah. Good. Of isn't really that important. Is it important that we know there's 3 integers? Yeah. That's important. Now let's see. I'm not your English teacher. I'm not your parents. I don't read to you at night. What does consecutive mean? Sorry? Yeah, I like that. In a row. Can you read the alphabet consecutively? A, B, C. Count the numbers consecutively. 1, 2, 3. So consecutive is important. Is it important that we're saying even integers? Because that means something here. It's important that they're even, and it's important that they add up to 132. So your challenge to me, if I know that x is the smallest of these whole numbers, right? I don't know what x is. How could I write using algebra what the next even number is? Any thoughts? What if x was 4? What's the next even integer?
6.
What's the next one after that?
8.
What did you do? How did you go from x? Huh?
Go up by 2.
Go up by 2. So, if I don't know what the smallest number is, if all I know that the smallest number is x, do you agree that x plus 2 is going to be the next even number? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yep. And then what's the one after that going to be? Is it still going to be x plus 2?
Yeah.
No? Because that would just be the same number as before. X plus?
Answer plus 2. X plus 4.
Okay, well, let's go with that. If you're going with, I'm not going to say your name because it's recorded. Answer plus 2. So the answer was x plus 2 and I'm adding another 2. Is there a quicker way of writing x plus 2 and add another 2? Good. So that's what I was trying to get at there, but I'm glad that we got to it together. Do you agree that this is going to be a whole number that I don't know? I don't know what it is, but is this going to be the next even number up? And is this going to be the next even number up over that? What do I know they're doing? They're summing together. What does sum mean? So we're adding them. And what does the question say they add up to?
132.
Good. So have we converted a bunch of words into an equation now? Let's apply our steps. How many x's are there on the left-hand side? There's quite a few. How many x's do you have?
2.
No,
Oh, right.
there's 3. So you have 3x. What would I have if I collected the 2 and the 4?
6.
Good. Plus 6 equals 132. I didn't do anything on the right-hand side. So now you tell me I need to get x by itself. I can't get rid of the 3 yet because I've got to add 6. What is the opposite of adding 6 to something? Good. So if I take 6 on both sides, what's going to happen to this 6 now that I've taken a 6 from it? It's cancelled out. So all I have left on the left-hand side is 3x. But I'm taking 6 from 132. So what's that going to be? 126. Well done. What's 3 doing to x? What's the opposite of timesing by 3? What do I have to do on both sides to keep it balanced? Divide it by 3. So that's going to cancel. X is going to be 3's into 12 is 4. So 4 and 3's into 6 is 2. Right now, I think the answer is that. What does it say here? Step 4, write your answer in a sentence. So you'll write something like, the number is 42. And then I put a little star there next to 5. If you have time, check that your solution satisfies the original scenario. You don't have to do this, but it's a flex because then you can check you're going to get 100% for your test. If you're telling me 42 is the smallest number, this is the check. Okay, you've told me 42 is the smallest number. What would the next even number above 42 be? 44. And what would the next even number above that be? 46. And then add them together. 6, 4 is 10, 12. 4 3's, 12 plus 1, 13. Is that what the original question said?
Yeah.
So you can check if you've got time. The stuff in purple is what you need to be able to do. All you're doing today is practicing that. Can you get that example down, please? The star. I'll write up what exercise I'd like you to do. I'll stop the recording now.